Leaders at Burlington Electric say they're on track to reach certain energy goals by the end of the decade, touting a nearly 20% drop in emissions in the city since 2018. But while announcing that yesterday, they also noted some funding freezes from the feds that could hinder their progress. ABC 22's Matt Holderman has more.
So we're seeing, again, in Burlington, a pace that's even ahead of Vermont, and of course Vermont is ahead of the federal pace.
Burlington Electric leaders sharing encouraging stats Wednesday regarding their energy and greenhouse gas goals. Their data shows fossil fuel use in buildings and vehicles in Burlington is now 19% lower than what it was in 2018, which they attribute to more people using electric vehicles, less people driving in general, and people using less heat in the winters.
We now have almost 1,300 registered electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles in the city of Burlington. More people may be able to use transit, walk, bike, get by with a fewer number of cars, so that helps us as well.
Those numbers don't quite keep pace with what Burlington has to do to reach net zero energy by 2030, but it does just about match a goal set by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Scientists with that group say to have a global temperature change of only 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2030, we need to reduce CO2 emissions by 48% by then, and that is the current rate Burlington is achieving. But amidst that progress, the Trump administration has made turning the U.S. into a more energy-dominant country one of its top goals, and Burlington leaders worry that will impede their ability to further their climate change objectives.
The policies we're seeing come out of D.C. are incredibly unhelpful.
Mayor Emma Mulvaney-Stanek weighed in too, noting federal funding that's been frozen will directly impact BED's goal of bringing more electric vehicle charging stations online. Under the Biden administration, the feds awarded a $5 million grant to Burlington Electric in September that would bring 200 new EV chargers to Burlington by 2030. But since Trump took over, that grant has come into doubt, and they say they might have to get creative to come up with more funding.
Climate is one of my top priorities in my first term as mayor. With so much chaos in the federal administration right now, local leadership is more critical than ever on climate.
If we can't access the grant, we'll still make investments in EV charging. They're not going to be as many that we can fund, and the rollout is going to be at a slower pace, unfortunately. So we're doing everything we can to fight for that grant.
In Burlington, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.